Hey there, folks. Adam going live. Tornado warned storm just north of Winnipeg that is tracking to the southeast. So that is a problem. Hopefully, it does not track right into Winnipeg, but it is not entirely out of the question. We mentioned two scenarios today on the page where we said it's either going to be a bust for southern Manitoba, or we could see a beastly supercell develop and have that track maybe towards Winnipeg or just to the northeast. And scenario two seems to be in play here. So let me just animate the data here so you can see this storm developed north of Stonewall, continued to strengthen and strengthen. And that frame right there is likely why Environment Canada issued a tornado warning for it. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. This is our new instant weather pro radar that we're working with here, which is something we're going to be launching soon. But anyways, nevertheless, this is the a very, very classic supercell hook echo. When you have a hook like this on the southwest side of the storm, and in this particular environment, which is extremely potent, so very high supercell values, very high VTP, violent tornado parameter. You know, it's a very strong environment. So basically, what we were saying earlier is that if we do get a beastly supercell to pop, you know, some of the models were saying, yeah, just north of Winnipeg, it's going to track to the southeast. And some models are saying, no, nothing's going to happen. So we basically mentioned those two options, and that's what we're dealing with here. So that was the previous frame. Here's the latest frame. Starting to see this interesting second cell developing here, but that's probably going to wrap into the initial parent cell. So anyways, nevertheless, it's definitely a dangerous situation. If you are in Stonewall, if you are in Balmoral, I believe it would be Balmoral, Argyle. Basically, Argyle is where we were getting reports from Suzanne Poth as well too, who was sending from her friend that was sending her photos, and basically from the Argyle area showing that rotation. And we did have report of minor rotation on it because you could see, you know, the wall cloud slowly wrapping up, and there's a lot of storm spotters on it right now. And it's a dangerous situation. So tornado warning on this particular storm. That is why we have gone live. Again, we are hoping it does not head into Winnipeg proper, but nothing's entirely out of the question as I animate this. If I show you as we go forward, you can see which way it's trying to stretch, and it is trying to go that way. And I mean, this is populated Winnipeg here. It's a very large area, as you can see. So potentially Rockwood, Blackdale, River's Edge, Lilyfield, Middle Church, St. Andrews, Lockport, Algonquin Park. These areas are where the potential dangerous storm could be heading. So, yeah, so we'll have to see how it develops. Please let us know what you're experiencing. Sherry says, missing Winnipeg. I hope so. I sincerely hope so. But yeah, if you are in that area, you're going to want to definitely be. If you're in Winnipeg, I'd be on very, very high alert right now. There is not a tornado warning for Winnipeg right now. It is north of the city. There is a severe thunderstorm warning for Selkirk and surrounding areas. And there is a tornado warning for Stonewall, for Balmoral. That tornado warning goes all the way up to Gunton and Teulon, Toulon potentially. But the storm's not even up there. The storm is moving to the south. So yeah, let's just do a little flip back to velocity here and see. Velocity is quite noisy, so it's hard to get a good read, but it's also still quite close to radar. Oh, so we do have a new frame now as well too. So here's the new radar frame. This is mixing together again. So that would have been where the hook was. Now we have a new tiny little hook in Argyle, and it looks like the second kind of cell that popped up is merging into the original parent cell. And I got Toulon right. Hey, I finally got something right. That's the first time in the last, I don't know, 9 years, the first time I've pronounced any city names correctly. So, or any city or town names correctly, except for Winnipeg. Clearly, we know how to pronounce Winnipeg. So, yeah, Stonewall areas, that storm is dangerous. It is strengthening, and it is tracking slowly to the southeast. Gail just said tornado warning was issued for Selkirk. So that's interesting. Let me just go take a peek on our pages here. Give me just 1 second, and I will pull that up. Now, it may be because you're near the cell phone tower that is inside the tornado warning. So the way that the automatic government warnings happen is just based on relationship to cell phone towers. So if there's a cell phone tower within the tornado warning that you can pick up a signal from, then you may actually get a tornado warning, even though you're not actually under a tornado warning. So let me just double check here, but it is possible they did extend it to the east. So give me just a moment, and I will check into this to make sure, and then we will go further deeper into your reports, into radar, and seeing what people are posting about that storm, because it is pretty intense here. So let me just scroll down here to see what we have here. Yeah, so the current, I don't think Selkirk is in the tornado warning from what I can tell. So let me just put that up on the page. Give me just a moment, and I will do this, and I will flip to that. There we go. So this is the current tornado warning from Environment Canada, and that was issued at 7:06. And again, for Balmoral, Stonewall, Rockwood, Stony Mountain, and I believe Argyle is just on the edge of it. It may be included in the list. Let's take a look here. Just the RM of Rockwood, including Toulon, Stonewall, and Stony Mountain. So again, if you are in Toulon or Gunton, that's north of the storm. The storm is likely tracking to the south, to the southeast. So you have the tornado warning, but you're not actually in the path of the storm at this point in time, unless it miraculously goes north, which doesn't seem to be what we're expecting here. So, and there was the severe thunderstorm warning issued as well too, and that was the original tornado warning back then. That was issued at 6:57. Let me just scroll down here and see anything else. No, not seeing anything else there. So. We did post about minor rotation reported on it, but I'm not sure if it went onto the page here. Maybe I have to refresh to make sure. But anyways, let's go back up to radar here for a second. That is the 06, so we should be getting a new frame pretty soon. I believe there is one. So let's flip over to velocity again to see what we have here. Give me just a moment. So that is the 12 frame there. Yeah, so that should be the latest. Yeah, that's the latest frame right there. Velocity is interesting. It's messy, but we know that the storm is dangerous. So let me flip back to reflectivity, and you can see, yeah, so they are merging into one parent supercell, which is not a good thing. And tiny, tiny little hookup here, which is just northeast of Argyle. Just looking at some of the reports so far, we've seen photos of wall clouds. Wall clouds are the kind of pre-tornado situation where we have a lowering below the cloud, and that lowering is rotating, and then that is where a potential tornado would spawn from. So pictures of wall clouds, and this is going to have to cycle a little bit as it eats the storm to the south of it, and all merges together into one big looming supercell on top of Winnipeg here. As you can see, let me just tilt the camera so you can see the perspective here of where this particular storm is. So here is Winnipeg. Here is the storm to the north. Let me just swipe so we can see. Yes, we're seeing some interesting signs of rotation on radar, but the reports of a wall cloud kind of verify the fact that this storm is increasing in strength. So you're watching it very, very closely here. Let me just hit play on the animation so you can see where the storm developed and which way it's going. So it looked like it was moving due east, and now it kind of is trying to stretch its way, slowly stretching its way to the southeast. So it's trying to go in this direction from what I can tell. It continues to stretch this way, but it continues to develop potentially on this boundary here further to the northwest. So strengthening and growing in size, and then we're going to see which way it tracks, but it could be heading towards potentially Oak Bank, East St. Paul I saw there, Middle Church, River's Edge, potentially towards the Lilyfield area, but it looks like it might be going further to the southeast. So yeah, it is definitely a storm to watch very, very closely, and that's why we went live. So side note, if you have not yet, please download our free app. You can get it at instantweatherapp.com. I'll put a link in the comments here. Let me just do that now. Download our free app at instantweather.ca/app to get notified of any alerts for your area. There we go. I put that in the comments there. Sarah says there's 2 size hail reported in Balmoral. Thank you very much, Sarah. Let me bring that comment up on the screen. Thank you kindly for that report. So yes, we still. Oh! Looks like maybe they have extended the tornado warning to the east. Maybe they have. Let me just double check here. Maybe. Let me see. I can understand why people think that if they haven't extended it, I can appreciate why people think that Selkirk would be in it, because I believe they are together in kind of the same. Yeah, they're together in the same kind of warning area, but still the tornado warning. Tornado warning ended for RM of. Oh, I see. This was that was earlier. 1 second here. Did they end? I don't think so. No. I see. So it's odd. Give me 1 second here. Oh, they did end the tornado warning. The tornado warning has ended? Okay. Tornado warning has ended. Let's see here. Ethan says, Adam, please do a live weather for British Columbia. We have a British Columbia page, Instant Weather British Columbia. So definitely join that. It was dismissed, but back again, someone said. That's interesting, because I'm not seeing Environment Canada's website. So let me double check on our app. Give me 1 sec. I always jump back to our app because that's got the most up-to-date information. So let me just do this quick. So severe thunderstorm warning still for Selkirk. And if I jump up to Stonewall, this is interesting. Might be a glitch on their website, or maybe they did end it. I'm not sure. Let's see here. No, Stonewall severe thunderstorm warning. So it looks like Environment Canada has ended the tornado warning for that storm, probably waiting for it to cycle again. This environment is quite strong. So we're anticipating that it will recycle as it merges with the other storm cell, and probably get cooking again from what we can tell. But let's see here. Give me just a moment. I'm just going to scroll this back, make sure. Let's go over to velocity. And then back to reflectivity to make sure we have the latest frame. So here's the latest frame right now. Only severe thunderstorm warning on this cell from Environment Canada. So I think the fact that it merged kind of threw off the structure a bit, and now they have gone to a severe thunderstorm warning. Could that potentially become a tornado warning again? It is possible if this thing starts to rotate. Yeah. So watching that very, very closely. Very interesting development that has happened. Wendy says it's beautiful in Winnipeg right now. How does it look to the north? I'm sure it looks pretty ominous to the north. You see any clouds to the north? I would think so. Let me go check some webcams, actually. Give me just 1 sec. I want to see if I can get any of the latest webcam images here. See if we can spot that storm to the north. Might be just a little bit too far for the cameras, potentially. Let's see. I think probably a little too far. I would think so. Let me just check on a few different sites. If it's safe to do so, and you are in Winnipeg right now, and you say the sun is shining, I don't see any. I do actually see a little bit of. There's a lightning strike pretty far from the storm. A lightning strike in Rivercrest and Parkdale. So if you're in northern Winnipeg, I'm not going to recommend going outside. But if you're a little further south and you can get a photo for us, please let us know. And you can post it too on our reports page so that everybody can see it. So if you go to, let me just grab the link here for you. If you go to Facebook, if you are on Facebook, first and foremost, you have to be on Facebook, of course. But if you are, go to facebook.com/groups/Manitoba Storm. And that's our Manitoba Storm Reports group. So I'll put that link here up on the page here on the stream. So yeah, so Environment Canada has ended the tornado warning on that one. I am surprised, but I'm also kind of not surprised because it did weaken as it merged. But it's very possible that it could continue to strengthen, and we're going to have to see which way it goes here. So definitely supercell development is still possible. This is a pretty big storm that has developed. There were tornado watches earlier to the northwest and tornado warnings. Those have all ended. We're in a severe thunderstorm watch here for the Winnipeg and Argyle and Selkirk areas, and severe thunderstorm warning as well. So under a watch, under a warning. And of course, we still have to take severe thunderstorm warnings seriously. We don't just discount those because it's not a tornado warning. Let's see here. Just reading some of your comments. Michael says, Adam, is this moving into North Winnipeg? And this is Michael from Manitoba Weather Center there. Hey, Michael, how we doing? Is it moving into North Winnipeg? I mean, it's pretty much there. Is it going to continue to track to southeast? I don't see why not. I mean, everything I looked at data-wise this morning and this afternoon said if a storm develops in this area, it's going to track to the southeast. So, I mean, is it going to go straight into the center of Winnipeg? I don't think so, but I think it could potentially track this way towards Oakbank, towards All Season Estates, Middle Church, Algonquin Park, West Pine Ridge, Birds Hill. I can keep zooming in, and there's even more and more areas. We can just get down to street level here while we're at it. But yeah, I have a feeling this storm is going to head towards kind of River's Edge area, Birds Hill. That seems to be the direction it will go once it finally gets going. But it's right on top of Stonehill right now. Oh, sorry, Stonewall. So if you are in Stonewall right now, I know that the tornado warning has ended. Still severe thunderstorm warning in place. I would still be taking shelter with the storm because it's pretty intense right now. Yeah, and as it tracks to the southwest, we're going to have to see to the southeast, we're going to have to see exactly what it wants to do. But now we play the waiting game. We just have to wait for the latest frame of radar, and then we'll go from there to see if it wants to move at all. If anything, it might be moving a little bit to the east. We'll have to see. But I think we're getting some new data now. Let's see here. Just scroll this back and see. Give me just 1 second here. Michael says, I'm well, though. Thank you, guys. You're very welcome. Posted a picture to the Facebook group, says Steve H. Awesome. Let me go find Steve's photo that he posted to our Facebook group. Thanks for jumping on the Facebook group and posting your photo. I'd like to see what it's doing here. I think I should be able to get the latest frame of radar pretty soon. Give me just a second. Is that the latest one, the 18 frame? We should be getting a new one very shortly. We have to speed up our processing here as well. But we should be getting a new frame quite shortly. Give it just 1 second here. So I want to find that report, though, from Steve, I believe it was. Give me just 1 second here. And you posted it to our group. Was it Steve? Let me just make sure here. Cheryl Wall says, thanks for these updates. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Tammy says, thank you for your hard work, warning everyone of the path of this monster. You're very welcome, Tammy. Grateful that we're able to help. Hopefully get the word out. I mean, that's our whole thing, is raising awareness about tornadoes and severe weather. So hopefully we're able to get the word out. Steve H said, posted a pic to the Facebook group. So I just looked on the Facebook group, Steve, but I'm not seeing it. Did you maybe post it on the wall of one of our Facebook pages? Is that possible? I'm trying to find it here, but I don't see it. So I'm not sure why it's not coming up. Did you post it on the Manitoba Storm Reports Facebook group? Or did you maybe post it to the wall of one of our pages? I'm going to see if I can track it down. I'm going to look on the wall of our pages here just to see if I can track it down. Give me just a second. Might have posted it to the wall of our Facebook page. That happens. It does happen. Let's see here. Oh, Steve, I found it. I found it. Yeah, you posted it to the wall of Manitoba Storm Watch. So we also have a group where everybody can see what's being posted to the group, and that's called Manitoba Storm Reports. So we have a lot of different pages and groups. So okay, perfect. Here's Steve's report here. Let me just get it up on the screen. Give me 1 second. Thank you, Steve, for sharing this with us. Appreciate it. And I should be able to show it to you now. Okay, so there's Steve's report. Thank you, Steve. 1 minute ago, he posted this, and I believe, I'm assuming you're, looks like you're on maybe the outskirts of northern side of Winnipeg. Can you let us know exactly where you are? Oh, he did a little bit further down. He said, Rushman Road, 1 mile road south of Stony Mountain. Okay, so Steve is right on this right now, this particular storm. And be safe out there, for sure. I'm glad that it looks like you're pulled over while you're taking these photos, which is excellent. That is the safe way to do it. So many times folks send us photos and you can clearly see they're driving. And then it's always, oh no, it's the passenger, or oh no, it's someone in the back seat, or you know, there's always some, no, it wasn't me. But sometimes it's blatantly obvious that it's the driver who's taking the photos. So thank you very much for pulling over safely, Steve. I sincerely appreciate it. That's the way to do it. We want you to stay safe, and everybody who's driving around in your same area to stay safe as well too. So now we play the waiting game where we carefully watch this. Chris says, awesome job with the updated live weather reports. Much appreciated. Do you think it will make it into southeast Manitoba around Steinbach area? Steinbach could be potentially next if this does start to track to the southeast. Yeah, it's possible. Katie says, can you post a link to the group? Yeah, for sure. Please share reports on our Facebook group, and I'll put that facebook.com/groups/Manitoba storm. Can't, let's see here. Oh, I'm trying to read what Christy said. Can't post photos here, but a good show of clouds in Winnipeg, says Christy O'Toole. Thank you very much. Christy, clearly you're on Facebook. Please join our Facebook group and post it there, and then I'll be able to share it if you are taking a photo. But if you're not able to take a photo right now, that's fine. But thank you for your report. Sincerely appreciate it. Melissa says, yes, please report for Birds Hill. Yeah, Birds Hill, I mean, Birds Hill is potentially in the path. If this starts to track to the southeast, which it should, right now it's kind of just hanging out in one single spot, potentially riding a boundary. But as soon as it starts to track to the southeast, that's when it could become quite a problem. But right now it's under severe thunderstorm warning. Environment Canada did drop the tornado warning that they had on it. Still severe thunderstorm watch in place and still severe thunderstorm warning in place. And for those who are wondering what's worse, a warning or a watch, let me just, let's see here. Let me just bring up an image so you know what's worse, a warning or a watch. There's a few images we have. They're good ones for sure. This was, I believe, by Weather Brad on Twitter, WX Brad on Twitter, which was cupcake watch, cupcake warning. You know, the watch, you have the ingredients in place. The warning means take shelter now. It's happening right now. Or it could be happening very, very soon. As well, here's another good one from the Normal Fire Department in Illinois, which is taco watch and taco warning. I know I'm going to make all of you hungry. My apologies. But yes, watch, warning. So warning being worse than watch, of course. But watch means the conditions are there for sure. This is the classic one. Know the difference, tornado watch, tornado warning. Someone had a good phrase once, which was watch for a warning to be issued. So if you always remember the phrase watch for a warning, then you know which one comes first, usually. And then this is more of a classic one from the National Weather Service, which is a watch as dangerous weather as possible within a couple of hours, but it is not occurring. A warning is dangerous weather is occurring. Move indoors and seek additional shelter if necessary. So just to give you the idea, between watch and warning, that is what is currently happening. So severe thunderstorm warning for the storm right now. The tornado warning was downgraded to a severe thunderstorm warning. And we're just sitting here watching the storm that is north of Winnipeg as it tries to get its act together. It looked really impressive for a minute. Then it merged with another cell. Now it's not looking as impressive, but it's still a potentially dangerous storm. So we're gonna watch that closely. Magic Moon says yummy cupcakes. Thank you. Appreciate it. Reg says, I can see it out my window. What are you seeing, Reg? Lisa says it's sunny in St. James. Ginger says, LOL, the warnings. Let's see here. Magic Moon said, I'd love to eat a taco right now. I mean, who wouldn't, really? Let me go back to radar here, make sure we have the latest frame. Give me just a second. We should have that 30 frame there. Okay, so let's go back to the radar. And we can see what the storm is doing. Still hanging out. It has moved just slightly east of Stonewall at this point in time. It's kind of, I'm sure it's raining in Selkirk, raining in Lockport, and Cloverdale. And let me just move closer to this. So it's just east of Rockwood, just east of Stony Mountain, just south of Balmoral. And we continue to sit here and watch this storm that is north of Winnipeg. And we'll see what it does. Brian says, howdy y'all, I'm a new subscriber. Thanks for joining us, Brian. Appreciate it. Thank you kindly. And Beth says, my appetite is real. Fair enough. Let's see here. Shane says, getting scared. Don't get scared. This is not, there's no reason to be scared. There's reason to be prepared. And it does rhyme, so it's easy to remember, but the more prepared you are, the less scared you should be, because you're aware of what's happening. If you're not paying attention and boom, a tornado hits, that's a little bit more of a dangerous situation than if you know what's coming, you know you can get to shelter. Yeah, this is what you want to do as far as being prepared with these particular storms. Robin says, Rutrow Folkfest people, Birds Hill Park. Thank you very much, Robin, for letting us know. Yes, Folkfest is happening at Birds Hill Park. And Braden says, think it would hit around the St. Vital area in southeast Winnipeg. It's hard to say for sure. It's trying to track a little bit further east now. Let's zoom out here and actually take a quick little animation peek of which way it's going. So you saw it develop, you saw it big hook, but then it merged with another cell. Then it's trying to get its act back together. And so it's been doing a little bit of dancing around. That one frame is exactly when Environment Canada issued the tornado warning, which was right there. And it had just a perfect hook echo. But then another cell developed and started to merge into the parent cell. So it kind of got eaten up by the parent cell. It became one storm. And now we're just sitting here playing the waiting game, see which way it's going. We hope it's going to go away from populated Winnipeg. You know, we don't necessarily want it to hit other areas, but moving into a very, very populated region and continuing to strengthen would be a problem. So that is why we sit and we watch. And that's what we're doing. Katie says, what time frame of this animation? So this is currently the 30 frame. So this is this is the 736 frame right now. Oh, sorry, 730 frame right now. So 736 right now, and this is the frame from 6 minutes ago. So we should be getting a new frame of radar soon. Tyler says, when is this premium radar available for the app? Soon. It is soon. I'm going to go with soon for now. We're going to do a presentation soon where we're going to launch a beta test for it. And we're going to bring in some testers. And anyways, so we've sent it to a few folks, a few storm spotters and friends of our team to do some alpha testing. And then soon we're going to be transitioning into a beta test. And that's very exciting. So anyways, yes. So soon, Instant Weather Pro will be available soon. But for the meantime, you can download our free app called Instant Weather. Go to instantweatherapp.com and and you can download the free app there. Let's see here. So much to watch. Maybe I should drink some water. Seems like a reasonable idea. So we wait. Should be getting, again, a new radar update pretty soon. The storm is trying to track east, I think. If we just analyze radar, it looks like it's stretching, continues to stretch to the east. So it was kind of in areas north of Stonewall, and then we had a development kind of right over Stonewall, and then it's pushing slowly to the east, and it's raining in Selkirk and Lockport, and it continues to track to the east. So maybe it's not going to go southeast. Maybe it will go east. I don't know. Let's see. I'll hit the animation, and we can try to decipher together which way it's going. Oh, we're asking what timestamps it is. Here, I'll back it up to, there we go. This will tell you the timestamp. So that was, let's see here. This is 7:06, 7:12, 7:18, 7:24, 7:30. So again, we should be getting a new frame pretty soon, if not already. But I'm just going to keep the animation going so you can see which way it's trying to go. Looks like it was developing to the southeast, but now it's stretching east and kind of not moving. So that's what's happening. So let me just jump back into the comments and try to answer some more of your comments and question. Liam on our team says the latest frame is a little bit weaker, seems to be pretty stationary flood risk. Yeah, you know what? We're not talking about that, but we should be. There is a flood risk, of course, with the storm because it's been over the same area for quite a long time and has not really moved much. So if you're in areas that are just kind of to the east of Stonewall here. Let's see how many frames of this area had heavy rain now. Quite a few. So if you're east of Stonewall, northeast of Rockwood, north of Stony Mountain, and kind of in the Cloverdale area. Let's see, Cloverdale's had quite a bit of rainfall. And the strongest part is kind of all halfway in between there. Concord, Hutterite Colony. If we zoom in there. We keep zooming. Do we get anywhere else? Ammeter Road. Blackdale Road, Lockport Road. It's basically where it is right here. So that's what we're watching. Let me jump into the comments here. Lawrence says, gonna miss Winnipeg. It's possible. I hope so. It is possible. Ashley says, me sent pics east of Stonewall. Thank you, Ashley. Appreciate it. If you put those on our Facebook group, I will go. I will definitely go and check them out. Give me just a moment, and I will see if I can find them here. Yeah, the storm is weakening, though, so that's a good sign. That is a good sign. So let's hope it continues to weaken. Sherry says, does Winnipeg need to hit the deck or what? Not yet. Not yet, but it's not going to be long if it starts to get cooking. But we'll see. I mean, the environment's very strong, but this storm might just not. It just might not do it. We'll see. It did have a tornado warning on it for a period of time. Now it's been downgraded to a severe thunderstorm warning, but that is still something to watch closely. So, and we did have that report from Ashley Newton. Thank you so much. I'm going to pull it up right now. Ashley Newton posted this to our Manitoba Storm Reports group, and from St. Andrews, south of Selkirk. So let me hit play on that. She's kind of giving us the whole structure here. Lots of blue sky to feed this storm. Lots of, it's not like there's a whole bunch of cloud cover. This storm has the entire environment sitting there waiting for it. So we'll see what it wants to do. But that is her interesting, almost looks like a drone shot of this particular storm. And she's spinning around and checking out the storm. Thank you for that report. We sincerely appreciate it. Looks like you've got a few more videos here as well, too. Interesting. Yeah, thank you for the report. This is 4 minutes ago. This was Laura on Manitoba Storm Reports on Facebook. She says clouds heading east. I guess that is, she must be in Winnipeg looking to the north. That would make sense. Jared Fontaine says, exact northeast corner of Winnipeg, right at the perimeter. Looks like it will miss the city, in my opinion. So thank you for that report, Jared. I appreciate it. He thinks it's going to miss to the east, and it is very possible that that's the case. We're going to have to see. We hope so. We're crossing our fingers. We posted earlier today about the two scenarios. We said scenario 1 is a total bust for the south, or scenario 2 is a beastly supercell that develops kind of north of Winnipeg and tracks to the southeast, potentially missing to the northeast of the city. So that's pretty much what's happening so far. We'll see. We will see. This was definitely a beastly supercell for sec. And now, we have the 36 frame here. So let's jump back to radar and take a look at that. Thank you, everybody, for your reports. I really, really appreciate it, for joining our Manitoba Storm Reports group. Then we have this particular frame. This is the latest frame of radar. Let me take a look at velocity. Velocity looks pretty weak from what I can tell. Nothing too spectacular. There's a little bit of action going on here, but it could potentially be noise. But as I swipe over on our Instant Weather Pro radar, you can see the storm is taking on an interesting shape. It's kind of looks... is it just me? Is that maybe a dragon head and wings? I don't know. It's kind of got a little bit of a dragon look to it. When you look at radar long enough, you start to see things in there. But it looks like, let's just take an animation here so we can see which way it was going. And it looks like it's trying to stretch southeast, but it's also moving to the east. So I believe it was Jared on our Facebook group. Jared, his hunch is that it's going to miss Winnipeg to the east, and that would be fantastic. Unless you're in Winnipeg and you want a wild storm, but this potentially may be weakening here. So thank you for your question, Sherry. I appreciate that. Cassie says, Winnipeg needs a nice boomer. Well, there's that. there's that. Let's see here. Sean says, just posted onto the Facebook group. Thank you very much, Sean. I appreciate it. I'll go take a peek. I appreciate all your reports coming in. They really do help. Let's see here. Watch so many things at once. So many different reports at once. Gina posted as well in our group. Thank you, Gina, for your report. Olaf posted as well, looking north-northeast from Oak Bluff over Winnipeg. Still outside of town. And I didn't see Sean's report. Maybe I missed it. Let's see here. That's interesting. Someone from Folkfest is asking us what's going on. I think, is this the actual Folkfest group? Maybe not. Maybe it is. Hold on a second. I think the Folkfest actually messaged us directly or posted to our group. Storm's kind of got a little bit of a hook going on as well, so we'll see. Let's see here. Starting to hook a bit again. Like I'm responding to them, to the Folkfest. Hard to say. We're watching closely, and we're live streaming while we watch. And let me see here. Oh, and I posted the link. So, okay, back to your comments. Let's see here. Amanda says, is this coming towards Steinbach? It's hard to say. It's hard to say. George says, please disclose that you are in Barrie, Ontario, so people aren't confused by your street mispronunciation. Oh, hi, I'm in Barrie, Ontario. I can't pronounce anything in Winnipeg and in Manitoba, so my apologies. Thank you, George. Appreciate that. Let's see here. Saucy says, Folkfest is on Birds Hill right now. Yes, that's right, Saucy. Thank you very much for that update. And Saucy's joining us on Twitch. So if you are on the Twitch verse, I know that's not the term, but if you're on Twitch, twitch.tv/instant weather to join our Twitch community, which we have started. George says, thanks, Adam. Hey, no problem. I think at this point in time, 9 years later, after tracking weather in Manitoba, everybody realizes that A, I can't pronounce anything, and B, I might just happen to be in a different province. So let's see here. Reports happening right now. Okay. Shannon on Twitter thinks that it's great news for Folkfest. She thinks that this storm is weakening, so that is good. I think it's possible too. I mean, radar definitely shows that it's weakening, so we'll see. We'll see. Let me pull up the latest frame here, and let's hope that it continues that way. It is quite a strong environment. It does have a little hook here, though, if anybody has noticed, that there is still a hook on the backside of the storm. But the overall structure is odd. So unless it really, really starts to get cooking, I don't necessarily see this storm continuing to strengthen. It's interesting. It's certainly worth watching still. It's got a hook. It still looms north of Winnipeg, but will it actually go into that area? It's questionable. Magic Moon says, have you a Discord? Just for our team, but we should probably open it up and get the Discord going more for sure. We'll see. We will see. Okay, so Shane says, oh boy, Selkirk is done. The storm isn't that intense right now. It's mainly a flooding risk. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that Environment Canada may have ended the warning on it. Let's see here. Yeah, the severe thunderstorm warning has ended on this storm now. Environment Canada thinks it's going to continue to weaken. So that is exciting news. I'm quite excited about that. That's great. So they think... Saucy Studio says, we have been helping you, Adam, pronounce Manitoba names for quite a few years now. Yeah, I'm still atrocious at it, and I'll continue to be, but yeah, I'm not letting that stop me from live streaming because I want to get the word out about these dangerous storms, so that is why we go live. So whether I can pronounce things or not, it doesn't change the fact that we need to track these storms. So that's it. I'll try my best. Jennifer brought up the spammer. Thank you very much. I did block them. Thank you kindly. And let me just see here. Oh, thank you, Michael. I appreciate that comment. Yeah, I mean, from right now, it continues to track to the east. What I'm seeing. Oh, Brian's on our YouTube and says, "I'm from Missouri. I spot storms for the National Weather Service in Pleasant Hill, Missouri." That's cool. Thank you, Brian. Side note, Brian, we do have a Missouri page. We actually have a page for every state and every province. So if you're on Facebook, check out Missouri Tornado Watch, and that is our page in Missouri on Facebook. Let's see here. Brian also talked about how he blocked the spammer on YouTube. That's only for your own account. I blocked it so it's off the account entirely. Yeah, so that would only be for your own account if you block it. Let's see here. D had a cool question. Can you explain why other weather apps show storms going slightly different directions or don't show up at all? Yeah, so not every, but many apps have different methods of how they deal with future radar. So we use a high resolution, supercomputer powered, rapidly updating model that spans the entire globe and updates every 15 minutes with new data. And what that attempts to do is model the future. So some apps, what they do is they take the past. You'll notice that like the radar is moving around in the past, and then as soon as it crosses the line from past to future, you'll notice the moving storm kind of freezes, and then it slowly moves in the direction it was going. So what they're doing in that case is they're taking past radar and they're just moving it in the direction it's heading. So does that work? Sometimes it's great. Sometimes it won't show new storms developing, or it won't show existing storms, disintegrating and dying. So that is a negative side to it. But in some cases, if you just take past radar and you just kind of keep moving it forward, that can show you where the storms are going to go. But there's many cases where folks go, I don't see anything on future radar for this particular app. There's just a few that do it, but. And the reason being is because there's nothing on past radar yet. The storms haven't developed. Like this particular storm, there was no storms here at all. It popped out of nowhere off of the boundary, I believe. And there you go. So it's developing, and that's why we have a storm. So hopefully that helps answer your question. Thank you very much for the question. Sincerely appreciate it. Let me see. I'm just scrolling up here. Amanda Hill said, George, he's in Manitoba. No, I'm actually not in Manitoba. I'm in Barrie, Ontario. And that's why I mispronounce everything. So you can just blame my Barrie-ness on why I can't pronounce anything anywhere else in Canada. D says, oh, okay, thank you. I love this app. Thank you so much, D. I really appreciate it. A huge thank you to all those who have gone to the menu, clicked upgrade radar, and chosen one of the subscriptions to upgrade your radar to 5 hours of future radar and to remove ads from the app. So we sincerely appreciate all those who have done that. You're the reason we're able to offer the app for free to everybody else. So huge thank you to all those who have upgraded their radar and upgraded their app. So sincerely appreciate it. Let me see here. Joshua says, just joining. Can you summarize the situation? All right. If you're just joining us, here's the situation. Supercell popped. We were expecting supercells to pop maybe north of Winnipeg. Supercell popped north of Winnipeg. It all of a sudden had a crazy strong hook echo on it. Environment Canada put out a tornado warning on the storm, but then they downgraded that to a severe thunderstorm warning. And now they have actually lifted the severe thunderstorm warning because this storm continues to weaken, which is exciting news. So I think we should have a new radar frame here. If I go and update this, let me just double check. We do here. So yeah, the storm continues to weaken. Doesn't look like it's heading into Winnipeg. So that's exciting news. If that had strengthened into a really beastly supercell and kept strengthening, it looked like it was heading to the southeast. But it looks like it's heading due east at this point in time, which is good news for Winnipeg, unless you wanted rain. But it's heading towards Selkirk slowly. It does have a hook on the backside of it, but it looks like it's fairly weak. So this is pretty good news. It doesn't seem like it's strengthening, and there is now no severe thunderstorm warning on it. So I think that pretty much summarizes the reason we were going live. We basically went live just in case this particular storm exploded, got super duper strong. I mean, of course it did. It was under a tornado warning from Environment Canada. We had pictures of rotating wall clouds below it, but it looks like it didn't really get going. So it may continue to weaken. So yeah, I think I'm going to shut down the live stream. That might be the shortest live stream we've done in our entire history. We normally go for 4 hours or 8 hours, all night long with a whole bunch of different storms. But yeah, in this particular case, we're just watching for that one isolated supercell, and we're going to see what it's trying to do. So thank you so much, Stella. Appreciate it. Thank you kindly. Stella says, great job. Love having a live broadcast about storms. You're very welcome. I'm so glad that the storm is weakening. It's not entirely out of the realm of possibilities for it to, get cooking again and start to strengthen as it moves to the east. But for right now, it seems like it's weakening. So that's an exciting thing. So yeah. Oh, Nikki had a question. She says, curious what the hook means. So let me go back in frames and I'll show you when the frame when this storm went tornado warned from Environment Canada. I'll show you what a hook is. This was a very, very classic hook. This is what we're talking about. This hook on the south side of the storm. So my camera's inverted. So it's a hook on the south side of the storm. And that is typically where you would have a tornado develop is in the hook. It's a classic supercell shape. So it has this classic kind of flying V supercell shape. And then the bottom or the southwest side of the storm has this perfect classic hook echo with weak reflectivity in kind of this notch here. So yeah, so that would be what we're talking about when we're talking about a hook. So Amanda says, what's happening towards Portage? I don't think anything's happening right now. It looks like it's pretty boring over there. So nothing happening at the moment. But this is, again, when the storm was tornado warned from Environment Canada. And then I think this storm actually to the south may have been the defining factor. Sometimes when you have these two storms and they merge, it gets stronger. Sometimes you have two storms and they merge and it gets weaker. And in this case, it actually ended up getting weaker. So it was going gangbusters, perfect hook, perfect classic textbook hook. And then it even, started to wrap in here, maybe strengthen. But then this storm popped out of nowhere and started to merge into the parent cell. The parent cell ate it, started to merge, kind of threw things off, got a little bit messy, got a little bit smaller. It did have a kind of a hook there for a second, but it's looking pretty weak on the latest frame. So I think it might be dying out, which is great news for Winnipeg. It's great news for all those who are in the path of the storm. So that's exciting stuff. So that looks like a musical note, says Braden. Yeah, that's definitely. Cool. So thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate it. Bethany says, thanks so much. Huge help. You're very welcome. Glad we could try to bring some clarity to it. Again, if you have not done so already, please download our free app called Instant Weather. You can go to instantweatherapp.com. I'll put it in the comments one last time. Download our free app at instantweather.ca/app to get notified of any alerts, forecasts, or live streams. There. Put that in the comments. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining us on the live stream. And we'll be back if things go bananas, but maybe won't be back. And that's probably good news. If we're not live streaming, that's probably a good thing for everybody's safety. So thank you so much, everyone. Appreciate it. Have yourself a wonderful evening. And we'll be watching closely nonetheless, whether we're streaming or not. We'll be watching radar and making sure that we can help raise awareness about tornadoes and severe weather. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.